Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, good afternoon. Hopefully everybody's having a good day. Good day. Let's see, who's in chat here? Who we got? Fancy, CJ, Live Devil, how y'all doing? Jenna, how y'all doing? Charlie Girl, Kristen R, how are you? Hyacinth. I don't know. Who is Hyacinth? Hey, Zena. BJ Wish, how are you? How's everybody doing today, guys? Hopefully everybody's doing good. Pam, hello, Pam. Man, it's nice out. At least it's warmer out today here, guys. It's nice and warm and sunny. And CJ Mack, hey, woman. Yeah, but you blessed today. Yeah, we blessed every day. I know. But yeah, just judging. The title is how we view people or whatever. Look at that, Jenna. What's up, girl?
Hey. Figure I'd come up here and support you.
Oh yeah. Oh, thank you. Hey, Kendra.
Hey,
Yeah,
everybody.
it's a little bit more of a serious, conversation, I guess. It's just I don't know why. It's just one of those things that just keeps hanging on in my mind, and yeah,
I might not talk, but I'm here with you, okay?
Oh, okay, yeah. It's just something I guess because so many people will ask certain things, like when we have a loved one who passes, right? And they ask, "Oh my goodness, what happened?" When you sit there and you tell them, "Oh, and for me, I have, my mom passed of cancer, and a year later, my brother committed suicide. And yes, I will say the word suicide. I'm not going to devalue that word at all. It has an impact. It should, right? But you get a totally different response from people. Has anybody else experienced that who has gone through anything like that? Where if it's cancer, heart attack, heart disease, anything like that, oh my goodness, but then you say a drug overdose or suicide, and all of a sudden you get that wall come down on people. And I don't know if it's because, part of me thinks it's like, hey, you know what? It doesn't matter how somebody passes. It does not matter. That is a finish line. That is the final race. Once you pass that finish line, that's it. Doesn't matter how you crossed it. You just did. But it seems to me that people seem to think that depending on how someone passed, that for some reason they're going to have a different size trophy at the end. And I just don't think that's true. I don't think that they do. I think it's, it's all the same. But, for me, it's just like, can we just, there just seems to be like this thing of shame or something attached to the way someone passes. And here's the deal with that for me is that person's already gone, right? They're moving on with their spiritual journey, and I understand that spiritual journey looks different for everyone, and I respect that. You just have to respect the way I view it. Okay. I do believe that we continue on, that there's, this is not our final frontier, so to speak. Oh no, Pam, I am so sorry. Um, if we could just sit here and understand that it's about the people who are left behind, the loved ones that are here. It doesn't, a loss is a loss,
Right.
It doesn't matter the who, what, when, how, why, Now,
I'm sorry.
I want to know. What's the matter?
I was saying sorry to Pam.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, and it's just, I know I personally, the responses I've gotten from people, if they ask, and Charlie Girl did say, you know what, you just need to tell me you don't want to discuss it. You don't want to talk about it right now, which, it doesn't bother me to tell someone, hey, he had a drug overdose. And he committed suicide. That doesn't bother me to tell someone the truth. What's interesting to me is the response, as if their life wasn't as valuable as somebody else who passed away from a heart attack.
Right. Like they're being judged for how they
Yeah.
passed.
Yeah. And to me, that's just not true, And I have had some people say some pretty icky things about overdose, and the kind of, the thing that is attached with that is that this homeless person that's living on the street that hasn't showered in 6 months and, has stolen from everybody and burnt every bridge. Well, that may be true for some people who have OD'd. It's not true for everyone, though.
Right.
So, I just wish the negativity was, and I know that it's our human nature to ask what happened. Right? Like everybody wants to know what happened. Oh my gosh, It would just be nice if we could take that away that, hey, it doesn't mean that their life wasn't as valuable as the next person's. Like suicide, for instance. You got people who, you could see it coming, right? Like they had several attempts, and they were successful with it. And then you have those that are out of the blue and nobody saw it coming. So, it just, their life is just as important as anyone else's. Their finish line is the same as anyone else's. We're all that finish line is all the same for us, guys. It's one race that I'm in no hurry to get to, right? I don't need to finish that yet, I mean, when it's my time, it's my time. And I do feel that, those who have passed before me have helped me in my journey to accept my death. Because we do have to accept that, like,
I can't get this phone to work.
Hold on.
I hope everybody's having a good day today. Is anybody else coming up here?
Oh, sorry. My daughter just got here trying to get her new phone to work, and
Wi-Fi ain't popping up.
it's not going through. Dogs are trying to get her. But, just do I do a lot of thinking. Like I say, it's probably scary to be in my head sometimes, but I just know that certain things, how certain things just replay in your mind like a little recorder. You got that VHS that you've rewound and watching it again, and there are certain moments that I keep replaying reactions from people. I know the reaction from when my mom passed, and people like, oh my goodness, what happened? It's a cancer. And they're like, oh, I'm so sorry, blah, 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 And then now, a year later, your brother passed, and oh my goodness, what happened? Suicide, which around here, in my personal person to person life off of YouTube, guys, I do live out in the country. I live in a very small community. Everybody knows everything. So it's not me telling them, they've already heard it. Okay, they already know. They don't, but it's just, I know the reaction is a lot different. And it really, it's like, it hurts my heart in a way because I'm like, look, his life was just as valuable as the next person's,
Yeah.
and I just wish we could take that stigma off of that, like just realize that it doesn't matter how someone got to that finish line.
Right.
The fact that they got there, those left behind are the ones carrying the grief of that. And to be able to acknowledge that for those left behind.
Right.
And acknowledge their grief and know that it is the same grief as it is no matter how someone has passed. Oh, hey Iris. I didn't see Iris slip in there, did you? Jenna, did you see Iris slip in there? Jenna, she's not speaking. She is not speaking to us. Okay. All right. But that's where my mind has been a lot lately. Because I know that, I do
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, there you are.
Okay. Sorry. Like with alcohol, when my mom passed away, she was an alcoholic, and she passed away of asphyxiation of aspiration.
Yeah.
So they blamed it on alcohol, and they all judged her because she was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
It don't matter how she passed
Yeah.
away or anybody passed away. She's gone. Everybody's gone.
Yeah.
Life is important regardless of how they passed.
Yeah. And my belief is that is your journey. We each have a journey that we're on, and that's your journey, and that yours. This is just my personal belief, okay? That was part of your journey. That's part of your quote unquote contract. You hear people talk about sometimes, right? Like
Right.
that's what that soul was supposed to. That was their life,
Right.
And like I said, once you finish, you get to that finish line. There is no, this isn't Nintendo 64 game where you have 3 more lives to go through. It's the final, right? That's it. In this world, on this platform here, that's it. We're done, and it's okay. However, somebody gets to that spot, I suppose. When they get to that finish line. Ooh, all right, Iris. You can go back to work on Monday. Woo woo.
That's good.
Yeah, Kendra, that's very true. Let me see that. It says, hurts her heart because left with questions that can't ever be answered. Exactly, Kendra. And that's, I'm, at that part where, and I keep telling myself, I'm never going to know. I'm never going to know. Stop asking myself, right? But I can't stop questioning and wondering. And I don't know if I ever will, but I do know that I'm just not going to know. I'm not going to find it within somebody else that, may have had an interaction with my brother, which I was looking for a while. And like I said, the moment when I looked at my sister and I said, I am not talking to anybody else right now. I'm not doing it. What? I was like, it just leaves me with more questions. And I have enough questions about it as it is without adding to it. So, let me just stop right here. I don't want to ask any more questions.
But I know it's hard, not to ask questions because you want answers and you don't know how to get them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you're not gonna. In this lifetime, I'll never have those answers. I don't think. If I ever do, I'd be extremely blessed, but I don't think I'll never, the answers that I want, I'll never get because he's not here to answer those. So, yeah, I'm really happy for you, Iris. Really am. He's going back to work on Monday.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, little devil. It hurts like it doesn't matter what happened.
Right.
It does not matter how someone passes. Those left behind are the ones dealing with the grief.
Right.
And, I just think as us as humans could just stop and say, how and why doesn't devalue someone else's life. It doesn't devalue someone's grief. And that's what it feels like when
Right.
you do have that judgment attached. It does feel like, oh, well, you shouldn't be grieving so hardcore because they brought that on themselves.
Right.
I'm just saying, I'm being brutally honest, guys. Because we do have a brother who died from a drug overdose, and that was a hard one. I'm a lot older now, so I can handle things, and not be so sensitive to them. Maybe, but I know I did have a lot of people say some really cruel things, and I don't even know if they intentionally meant to. But it was just like, whoa, I don't care how he passed, honestly. My heart was hurt because he was gone, and that's it. To just acknowledge the grief that someone is having. I think for us that needs to be our focus, right? Not how someone passed or anything else. Just the grief that someone is going through.
Right.
That's the most important thing.
You're exactly right.
Thank you, Magpie.
Do what?
No, Magpie.
um,
Yeah, and that's true. It's like I said, I just wish we could take the negative off of it. And because like I said, I know how I feel about things, but other people, are going through this as, now hold on. Can you hold on for a second?
Yeah. I know when somebody passes away, if you haven't never really had anyone pass, and some people just don't care what they say, you don't really know what to say, and words cannot make someone feel better about losing their loved one. Some people just don't care, though. They'll be rude with what they say, with the judgments. Every life is very important. Even people that are living on the streets, their life is very important as well because they still have loved ones at home, that they probably don't see. I'm sorry, y'all. Shani left me up here by myself. And I'm not really good at this topic, y'all. Right, Kensha, you're exactly right. I'm so sorry, Iris. I'll interact with the chat.
Sorry about that. Oh my goodness. She's trying to get her phone hooked up, and she was trying to hook up to the Wi-Fi. She didn't realize that we got rid of the one Wi-Fi and have a new one in there. So she needed the password for that, which is not the same password we had before, blah, blah, blah.
It's okay. Don't ever do that to me again. Just saying.
Oh, I'm sorry. This coming from the Pause Queen on her own channel. Okay.
No, this is coming from someone who says they're never going to be late, and you was late today for your own life. So don't try me, woman.
I was getting on at 2:00. It was 2 p.m. my time. How late was I?
You was probably like 3 minutes late. That's it. That's as late as you
I
go.
think your time must be off because when I clicked on the StreamYard, it was 2:00 exactly.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it was. I don't know unless my time on my phone is off. But I did have a phone call that. Oh my word! It's worse than I thought, guys.
What?
But I can't. I just have to be in private. Hey, my mods down there in chat know what to do, right?
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. I can't be in chat right now because I'm up here on panel. So please just you gotta know what to do.
They know what to do. Yeah. Yeah, but like I said, I don't know why. It's just been on my mind so big lately just because of a few things that had happened. And, I just keep replaying those. And I'm like, man, can we offer, and I'm not saying this for myself, okay? I'm not saying it for myself at all. I'm good, okay? But I just stop and I think of other people who are going through these things.
Right.
And, can we just stop and offer some grace and just know that a loss is a loss? Doesn't matter how it got, how it happened, that their grief is the same.
Right.
And yes, okay, I understand that there are things that we have to deal with and work through, right? Depending on how something happened. And that's true in anything in life, It doesn't devalue someone's life here on earth. It doesn't devalue their death. It doesn't devalue our grief.
Right.
So,
I think that people should show compassion, which this world lacks. People lack compassion a lot.
yeah. And I don't know. I think, like I said, I know some of it could be, I think some of it is a mix of, like I said, they brought it on themselves. They shouldn't have been doing drugs. They shouldn't have. Well, they didn't want it a way out. They committed suicide.
Right.
And I do think some of it is that, and some of it is they just don't know how to approach that subject. Right?
Yeah.
Why? Because we don't talk about it enough.
Right.
We don't talk about it. We can't. We have to soften suicide, right? By saying they committed S or they took their own life. It was because of, they did, they passed away by their own hands. They did this, they
Right.
did whatever, right? So it's just kind of like, man, if we could just get people to see those things the same as they do heart disease and an automobile accident or whatever, it's all different, yes, but the end result's the same, isn't it?
You're exactly right.
So, I mean, that's just.
I think that people try to cushion it because and don't want to talk about it because it is a heavy subject, and if people could just say I'm sorry, because that's really all you can say when someone passes away. They shouldn't really ask, how it happened or what happened or.
Yeah, but we are humans that are curious about everything.
Right.
I get it. Like you just, what happened? What's going on?
Right.
And that is our first go-to, isn't it? Like for me, it is. I hear someone's passed. I'm like, what? What in the world happened? What do you mean?
Right.
To just accept that they're gone. It's like, no, we can't do that. We've got to know why. And that's probably just about how we are as humans, how we're made up. Because I can tell you the last time that I just, heard somebody had passed and didn't question it would be never. Honestly, I've never just been like, oh, somebody passed. Okay. I mean, that's just the truth. That's why. What happened?
You're right. because you want to know the reason, you know.
Yeah. And I think just to take the taboo off of it, because it is kind of those two, both of those things are so taboo. You
Right.
know, it's just such a taboo subject, and you know, and I know they're heated. I get it. You know, people don't want to talk about it. They do talk about it, and you know, it is very, you know, people are on polar ends of it, right? I mean, I get it, but you know, I think it just needs to somehow come across where it's like, look, that is the finish line. You know, that's the reward that you get. That's the trophy, okay? And no one's trophy is any bigger than the other. It's a trophy that's there. There you go. You got it, right?
Right.
And it's not it's those who are still here are the ones. Huh? Why did that do that?
What happened?
It popped up like somebody was coming in back chat, but nobody was there.
Nobody was there.
PJ, there you go. See? Yep. Well, yes, I do think that too. I was like, oh my goodness, what can I do for you? You know, like, are you okay? You know, but then I always do. I eventually always ask what happened. You know, in my mind, maybe not to them, but in my mind, I do. I'm like, you know, curiosity, right? Oh my gosh.
Right.
Yeah, Magpie, that's true. It's true. It really is. Addiction and mental health. They really are. It is. You know, and I think that's why, you know, when I see someone in what you can perceive as a mental health crisis, I'm like, ho ho ho, shut it down. You know, stop. You know, hold
Right.
up a second. You know, and for anybody to say that they have never been in a mental health crisis, I would probably argue and debate that till the cows come home,
Right.
because you know, we look at that as someone who has to be locked up in a mental health institute, right? That's a mental health crisis. Whereas in reality, my view on it, okay, is a mental health crisis is that moment when someone is so distraught they can't stop crying. They're viewing something in a way that
Love you.
is maybe a little distorted, huh?
Going to work.
Okay, love you.
You gotta send the phones back.
Oh, good. Awesome.
All right.
Okay.
Gotta go to work.
Okay. But that's my take on a mental health crisis. Is it's not necessarily, I get it where it's like, you know, okay, but you need to be locked up. Okay, I get that. That's like a major crisis right there, you know.
Yeah.
But your mental health is, you know, and I don't know if anybody has ever not been in a moment where you're crying so hard you don't know if you could take your next breath.
Right.
You know, to me, that's, hold on, let's step back, because at that point, nothing else matters. It doesn't matter why that person is crying like that. You know, you can think that, you know what, this is ridiculous. You know, you shouldn't be this upset about something. But we do need to acknowledge that, hey, this is where this person is at, and that is how they are feeling about it.
Right. And some people, they suffer alone. You know, they don't suffer showing anything, you know.
Yeah.
But I can understand by some, you know, you seeing, like, say for instance on this platform, and when you see someone in a crisis like that, you want to get it shut down because, you know, it's like the live especially or anything like that, because that could trigger someone else into, you know, an episode of like reacting. Like I remember, you know, being like that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it is hard when you see somebody who you're like, oh, you know. And it is hard, especially on, you know, I mean, in real life, person to person, you can handle it differently, right? Because you're right there.
Right.
And, you know, but on a social platform of some kind, it is really hard to help and assist someone who is in that moment.
Right.
And then you're like, oh crap, what do? You know?
And even sometimes in real life it's hard, especially, you know, when you see someone going through something, you can't help them because you want to help them, but still in their mind, they're thinking certain ways, and all you can do is just show love, you know, but
Yeah.
that's not going to help them feel better.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing, goes right back to educating, you know,
Right.
making it, you know, having awareness. Again, it's a taboo subject, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
all these subjects are just like, oh, we don't talk about that, you know. Hey, this is a horrible thing. This is bad, right? And I
Yeah.
mean, and especially with mental health, I mean, we when you look at history, throughout history, it's always been treated as a horrible thing. You know, like, I mean, back in the day, it was the devil's got a hold of them, right? They're evil.
Right. Right.
Put them in
They're
an insane
possessed.
asylum, you know, put them in a hospital somewhere, and you know, um, and I think we still have that. It's like ingrained in us or something where that's still attached to it. And you know, it would be great if we all knew, hey, somebody's in a crisis. You know, this is what we need to do. These are the steps we need to take to help them. You know, or this is what we could possibly do. You know,
Right.
and it just isn't always. We're not equipped with that. And I think if we did take some of that taboo off of it somehow, you know, um, it may be something that everybody could handle in a different way, or have a little
Right.
bit more knowledge of how to do it, or how to respond.
Right. Because you cannot hide the subject. Because if you hide the subject, and when you see your loved ones going through it, you know, you're like, I try to hide it from them, but then they're going through the same thing.
Yeah,
So they're not knowing how to handle it.
yeah, yeah. Xena, and she said, you know, the first thing she does is ask if how they pass. She does not ask how they pass. She gives condolences and tell them they're here to listen when they're ready to talk. Yes, I do that. I do that too. I'm not saying that I go to that person and say, "Oh my God, what happened?" No, not at all. What I'm saying is, in my mind, I question,
Right.
like, you know, just wanting to know, "Oh my God, what in the world happened?" I don't go to that person and do that. I do the same thing that you did. Like, I am so sorry. I'm here if you need me. You know, so much so we actually had my son's friend a year after graduating high school passed away. And I had talked to, you know, several of his family members, and we went to the funeral, and we still did not know how he passed. Attending the funeral, we just knew that he had passed,
Yeah.
and I never asked because it's like, hey, unless you tell, I'm not, you know, it's really none of my business, anyways. You know, but was I curious? Heck yeah, I wanted to know. I'm just saying, I just think that
Yeah.
is something that curiosity. You know, we found out afterwards, of course, what happened. That you know, we sat through that entire funeral and we had no clue. For you know, like a week, we didn't know what happened. And they were kept it hush hush for that long too.
Um,
Which, you know, I'm not gonna say they kept it hush hush. It was just
they were probably ashamed
nobody.
of what happened.
Well, there was a lot to it, but
Yeah.
you know, it was. And out of respect for you know the family, I'm not gonna sit there and say, "Oh my gosh, what happened?" You know,
Right.
because like I said, it doesn't matter how. The end result's the same, isn't it?
It is. And I think it shouldn't be such a taboo subject. I think that we should be able to talk about it openly, you know, even to our family. Because talking about it's not going to curse your family and give it to them, you know, but it makes
Well, it
them
can
aware.
bring awareness as well.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, we had two brothers, one passed from an overdose and the other from suicide. What the hell,
Right.
you know? But I deal, you know, and it's just like anything else for me, okay, with my children, with my nieces and nephews, right? With our children that are carrying on. When we have diabetes in the family, when we have heart disease in the family, when cancer is in the family, what do? You tell your children, you make them aware so that when they go to the doctor, they can address these issues and make sure what to look for, right?
Right.
Addiction, suicide, which is mental health, right?
Right.
I want my children to be just as aware of those as they are of everything else. And I do have a couple kiddos who have combated depression issues.
Yeah.
And I'm aware of that. They are very aware of it. I am so blessed that they're very aware of it and they know what to do.
Right.
And then, with my brother doing that, that's just really scared the hell out of me, because I know what a couple of my kids have said to me, and say that doesn't scare the hell out of you. I don't know what mother wouldn't have terror go through their soul,
Right.
So I do feel it's important to educate your children on those things just as much as anything else.
You're exactly right.
And that
Keeping
awareness.
it
So,
from them is not gonna help the situation, because it's gonna eventually hit them, and then you're gonna be like, okay, well, I should have told you from the beginning this is what was going on. And I was hoping, like in my situation, I was hoping that it wouldn't reach my children, but
yeah,
it did. And then I had to explain to them after it hit them.
yeah. It just, to make things aware, to make them aware of things, make them aware of things like that, I think is so very important. It's just as important as heart disease, any of that. It's your health, um, and to have them aware, hey, look, this is what, if you're not on top of it and you're not taking care of yourself, this is, what the outcome can possibly be. And those are just not outcomes that I want to live through with any of my kiddos,
Sorry.
So many lose their compassion. Oh yeah, Magpie. That's very true. You see that? Social media is scary because so many lose their compassion for others in their quest to make money. Yeah, well, money isn't everything. It really isn't. No amount of money makes you happy. Maybe it does on the outside for a moment, but to make you truly happy and, you know, and I think, I don't know, I mean, really think about this, Jenna, think about this. Because some people do think that money and things make them happy. So
Do I?
I said
I didn't
people,
hear you last part.
no, I said some people do think that money and things make them happy.
Yeah, that is.
I can tell you right now that if I could have a loved one back, just for 5 minutes,
Right.
that would make me happy.
That's worth more than anything in this world. Besides your children or your family.
Oh yeah. If I had
I
to
don't.
choose, I'm going to choose my kids all day long. I'm going to choose my
Right.
family, my loved ones all day long, honey. You can take that money. I'd rather live on the street than live without one of my loved ones. If I had a choice,
Right. I just don't understand how people could think that. Well, I mean, that's just the way people think, that money is very important. It's more important than life, and it's not.
No, it isn't. I just, yeah. Oh, that's true, Zena. There's no locker rooms in heaven, people. From what I hear, there's no locker rooms. And if there is, then I got some people who need to come up and pick up their crap. Okay? Come get your stuff and take it up there with you. Because, I mean, come on. We have all the stuff, right?
Right.
Those left behind get the belongings and going, okay, let's, divide it up, do whatever,
Right.
yeah. So there ain't anything here that's going up there with you.
Nothing.
We don't even take our bodies with us. I mean, think about it, you know? Come on. Everything's left behind.
Right. Oh.
But yeah, I just wish, you know, I hope people can remember their compassion, get back to that, and don't, you know, don't lose your compassion. Don't you lose your empathy for others, and, you know, and just realize that the who, what, where, when, why, and hows don't matter.
Right. And it's sad when you live in a small town, you know, where everybody knows everybody.
Oh yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
that's when it, you know, the judgment is there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I definitely, I mean, I can tell you firsthand. That's, you know, a couple of my thoughts on that. You know, that's what I keep replaying, and it's like, wow, you know, okay, you know, and it's, you know, I've just come to terms with it. You know what? That's on you, not on me. That's on you. If that's how you know, you view it, then you know, I apologize. You know, that's good. You know, I guess we're not going to change the world on that, but I wish we could. I wish we could. So, what are you doing over there, Jenna?
Hey, me, I'm sitting outside. I had to mute because the dog's about to bark again. I came outside to smoke a cigarette.
Hey, did I say thank you, Purple? Because she said, I don't know if I said thank you when Purple commented. And Kendra, oh, Kendra, I'll hug you back, honey.
I don't know. I've not really been paying attention. I only paid attention when you went on mute.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
hey, everybody in chat, I'm sorry, I haven't been paying attention.
Yeah. Well, I know it's a heavy subject matter. It's just been replaying in my head a lot, you know. And I do have questions, and I don't think I'll ever get the answers, and that's okay. You know, I just got to learn how to stop asking myself.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, hey, don't even worry about it.
Time, you know, that's going to take you time to stop asking those questions, to stop, you know, you from wondering, you know, if there's anything that you could have done, you know, that's just natural for you to ask yourself, you know.
Yeah.
Really, see, I'm watching that. You're gonna
She's
mute
slacking.
me.
She was
Yes,
muted.
I was muted. Thank you. Shiny muted me, y'all. It was Shiny.
I didn't. No, I didn't mute nobody, but I should. You just gotta let me know when you go into the bathroom. I'll mute you, okay?
Believe me, I do not do that no more since the last time. Okay. Y'all will not catch me on the intertube. Oh, going to the bathroom. No more.
No, no more. No more. No more. Don't you go out there. That hawk will get you. Oh.
Oh, I love y'all too. I miss y'all. Well, I miss everybody in chat. You know, I miss seeing y'all and interacting with y'all.
You'll be back. You'll be back.
Yeah, I will be back eventually.
Just figure out which direction you're gonna take your channel and stuff, you know.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Where am I going? What direction?
See, you could do like, you know, this channel. We just talk. We just talk.
Yeah.
Like anything goes over here, pretty much. We're like, you know, let's talk about this. Talk about that. You know. I know I do. Got some parenting issues that I have to deal with. Girl, let me tell you, I got some parenting issues over here. Yeah. You know.
Well, I wouldn't, you know, be so down on yourself about that. You know, we all have dealt with that.
Oh, Oh, look, man, I'm pretty much washing my hands clean on this one because what this child is doing is no way, shape, or form of a reflection of my husband and I and our parenting at all. It's gotten bad. When I tell you later, you ain't gonna be laughing.
Oh, really?
You're
It's
not
something
even
else?
close. Yeah. Oh, it's bad. It's bad. And
Oh,
so
no.
we're gonna have to figure out what the hell are we gonna do.
Remember, you gotta tell us. So
Oh, trust me, it's you fight like hell to make sure your kids, right? And I think most of us do. Like when we parent, we want the best for our kids. Like I always
yeah,
tell my kids, I want you to do better than your dad and I. And
yes,
I
that's the
don't
main
mean
thing.
buy a bigger house, buy more property, do this, do that, have a nicer car. No,
Right,
that is not what I'm talking about. I
right,
want you to have a successful life. And when I say successful, I mean I want you to love. I want you to be loved. I want you to be happy
right,
in whatever you do
right,
because I don't care what kind of job you have. Are you happy at your job?
right,
Okay. Are you happy with where your life's at?
right.
That's what's important because no matter how big of a house you have, how much property you have, how much nice car you have,
That's not
when
gonna
you're
make you
sitting there
happy.
crying tears, that vehicle you're sitting in, and that's where a lot of mine fall, guys, because I drive a lot of, I travel a lot for work and I'm by myself. I'm a little doggy with me. But that's where I have a lot of my time where I can sit there and I reflect on things and I think about things. I'm telling you right now, it doesn't matter if I have a clunker of a rust bucket or I have a nice vehicle, those tears that are fall are getting caught the same way. So it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what house you live in. Doesn't matter if you have an apartment or a trailer. It doesn't matter.
And I think
I
that's
just
I
hope you
think
have
that's where we
well,
do that when we tell our kids that, we've been through a hard life of a struggle. You have to explain that to your kids. Like you're not meaning to make sure that you're not in the struggle. You just need to make sure that you're happy in everything that you do.
yeah.
Because we have made mistakes. You know,
Oh, we all make mistakes. It's how we deal with it.
and I'm sure
How do
that
you
they
deal with
will
that
make
in life?
mistakes, which they have made
Yeah.
mistakes.
Oh yeah. But this kiddo who's making mistakes right now, honey, there ain't no way he happy with it. There's no way he's happy with it.
I'm scared to
Mm-mm.
ask.
Oh,
The way he's been acting
it's
lately.
it's bad. It's bad. It's bad.
I'm sorry for
It's rough.
laughing.
Oh,
I'm trying.
I'm telling you,
I'm trying to make light of the
you,
situation.
you. I promise you ain't gonna be laughing later when I tell you the shit he's been doing. I'm telling
Oh
you.
man.
That's why earlier when I got the phone call right before the live, I
Oh
I literally
no.
gasped, and it's really hard for my kids to do something where I'm like, oh my god, like horrified. Okay, I got 12 kids, so for a kid to do something that horrifies me, it's a
Oh
lot.
no.
It's a lot. I'm telling you.
I'm
Like
sorry.
I,
I am so
I got,
sorry.
I can
We
deal with
got
some shit. Okay.
we got to end the live so we can get the info. I'm just joking, y'all.
I don't know. I don't think you want that info, honey. I really don't. I'm just, it's those things you just don't publicize. Just know that we're going through some hell over here.
Right?
It's gonna get. Oh my goodness. And I just don't think it's anything that I'm going to be able to deal with him on.
Right. I'm
Yeah, I don't know. you know, yeah. So it's
Oh
rough
man.
between dealing with life, and it doesn't it always seem to, when your kids are going to cut up, right? They do it when it feels like when you're emotionally and mentally at a low, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I don't mean that I'm like, you know, broken. I don't mean it like that. I'm just saying, look, I'm trying to deal with some stuff here And I have to sit here and it's separate. I tell you what, as a parent, anybody out there who's a parent, I think you probably understand when you have to, compartment, you got a compartment over here, you got a compartment over there, we're going to deal with
Right.
this. Like, you really have to learn. And then, for us, we have so many kids, so we do have to compartmentalize each child. And, that's a tough one. I really, really work hard on doing that, because just because I'm aggravated with this child in this situation that's going on does not mean that the other one coming in is affected by that. And I work
Right.
really hard to, okay, hold on, put my aggravation aside, let me deal with this child separately,
Right.
and that's anything in life, right? Like, I mean, we do have to do that, but I think as parenting, we especially have to do that. And yeah, this one, so like, dude, man, could you give me just a moment
Just
before
let me
you guys?
let me recatch of what you did last time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's too late for that. Too late for that. So yeah, it'll make everything that happened on Thursday night make sense, though.
Oh, really?
It blends it together. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's
Wow.
wonderful. Just know, guys, we're dealing with some stuff over here, so I don't know if we'll do a whole lot of lives. I've been trying to go live more often, and life really does get in the way. I really tell you what. My life gets in the
Yeah.
way, and then that new medicine. I know we went live the other night, late. We did a late night live, and I tell you what, that medication really can get me going good. Like, ooh.
I think I knocked out on your. Did I knock out on your panel?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I
don't know.
did.
Maybe you
because y'all
did.
kicked-
You did.
Yeah, y'all kicked me. I remember being kicked.
We did not kick you. You booted yourself off.
I remember.
We said
I
something to
woke
you,
up
and then
and I
you
wasn't
disappeared.
in StreamYard. I was like, "Yay, they kicked me!"
No, you booted yourself off. I don't kick people off my panel. I mean, I don't really have, bad people on my panel. I don't think. Situation where I've had to. You know what I mean? I don't think so. But so yeah. Hopefully, it won't get too bad around here. I don't know.
Hopefully, it won't.
Parenting should be easier than this.
Yeah, it does not come with a manual. I know that.
Oh Lord, have mercy! I tell you what, mercy. I'm just going. Okay. Oh, all right.
Cowards don't
Get
start your
okay.
mess. I never kicked y'all from a panel.
No, you were muting and kicking her left and right, man. That's all.
I did
know
not.
that. If she was
Yeah.
there, then she wasn't.
She did it herself.
Yeah. Well, at least I got, my little man. He's just, he's got his little best friend. Remember I told you he was sitting there crying because his best friend no longer goes to the school. And
Yeah.
I was thinking he had moved. And he's like, no, he didn't move. He's just going to a different school. And I said, okay, then we'll go to his house and we'll see if he can come over. And yeah, so they're like, so we had him over, and they just run around playing and everything. And he's homeschooled. They're homeschooling him now, so it's fine. He still lives. He didn't actually leave anywhere.
He's just going
But
to a different school.
Yeah, well, you know how it is when you go and your best friend isn't there anymore. It
Yes.
does feel like a loss, Poor little dude. He was so grief stricken. He's so sensitive. He is. He's so sweet and sensitive.
He's a
the one
mama's boy.
Oh, he is. He is. He's a sweetheart. He's my sweetie pie. I hope he never changes. Hopefully not.
I don't think he will.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. When he hit, I don't know. When they hit them teenager years, it's like, can I take you back to being a baby?
No. Well, see, my older kids, my boys, were so easy. My older boys were so easy. Okay?
Yeah.
My girls were the ones who gave me a run for my money. And it still wasn't that bad, really, you know. You know, it's like, they get a little mouthy, but that's a female thing, you know, it's okay, right? So I
Right.
got really lucky with my older kids, really did. And my boys are all so sweet and they're very compassionate and they have empathy towards others and it's just awesome, right? And then I got this one and I'm like, oh my word, are you serious? You know, like what in the world is going on here? My head is just a spinning, you know, and I'm going, oh, you know, and then my husband, he's just like, no, you know. Oh, hey, Kimmy.
Hey, Kimmy. Hey, everybody in chat.
It's just, yeah, but you know, we can end this live and we've been on for like an hour. So, you know, like I said, I'll try to go live more often.
Yeah, she's gonna have to go live more often.
Yeah, just live, you know, with life. I don't know exactly, you know, how that's gonna, I'll try in between it all, I guess, you know.
Do I sound that bad?
Yeah,
Kimmy?
you always sound bad. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm trying to get over it. It's not, look, I'm trying to get over it.
Hey, it'll get there, man. I only have a little bit left in my nose now, but it's in the chest. Like I keep coughing up stuff, but it's getting better. So
Mine is
you'll be
better.
on the horizon soon. You'll be on the horizon soon.
I am taking Theraflu though. Theraflu helps me be able to sleep without coughing everywhere.
That's good.
Yeah.
It didn't do anything for me, but you know, I still spent the money on it and took it, and that stuff was awful.
It is awful. I just took some while you was live. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, it's rough. But you know.
But I can't taste it, so I can't taste or smell nothing. So.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I
Here they
was
go.
for a little
They're
bit
about to
there.
start barking, y'all. I think.
Okay. Nope. Just tapping on the floor.
Yeah,
We're doing the tap dance. Tap, 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 tap. There you go. But yeah, we'll go ahead and end this now. And thank you guys for joining us. And just try to remember that, you know, to be kind to others and have empathy towards others. Just a little bit goes a long way for those who need it.
It does.
You know.
I'm
So
sorry with
you
no help.
guys. No, you are.
Because
You are.
this topic is really hard.
I know it's a hard topic. It really is. And I just wish that it, you know, it is a hard topic, and I know a lot of people don't like to discuss it because it does bring it forward, and
Yeah.
you know, it's that emotion that a lot of us don't want to talk about and discuss.
Right.
And you know, the sad stuff is always hard to deal with.
Right.
But I do feel like we do need to deal with it. We do need to talk about it. And we do need to address it. And you know, for one thing, just let people know you're not alone. You know, no two people are going to feel exactly the same thing about anything. You know,
Right.
but you know, even
Definitely.
grief, we all experience on a different level, different ways. You know, some people can step on a worm and just be devastated, and other people are like, it was just a worm and walk off. You know,
Right.
you just have to respect where each person is at.
Right.
You know, bad analogy there, I suppose, but you know.
No, you're right. No, you're right, because you know, Anija, she tries to. We went outside. I'm sorry, I'm gonna jump down after this. But when they were younger, we moved a mat, we moved a mat off the back porch, not here, but in another place, and there was worms up under there. And then we saw the worms, like the ground, like the earthworms, like the long worms that they go fishing with or whatever. There was ants. When we moved it, the ants started trying to get the worms. So my kids were trying to save the worms from the ants, picking them up and toting them over to the grass, like the trees, so they can get back in the ground. Well, Anijah wanted to save the worms so bad, but she was so scared of the worms. She was sitting there crying because she wanted to save the worms, but she was scared to touch them.
Well,
Sorry,
yeah,
you
'cause
brought,
worms are kind of
you brought
creepy, you
worms
know.
up. Yeah, that was off topic. I just wanted to say that. Leave me alone. All right, I'm
No,
gonna jump
it
down.
actually makes sense. It makes sense, though.
That was very off topic, but I'm gonna jump down. I love you. I miss everybody
All
in
right.
chat. Y'all have a good day. I'll see y'all later.
All right. Love you too. All right. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. You guys all have a wonderful rest of your day. Love y'all. And what is today? Thursday? Yeah. If we don't get back on, have a wonderful weekend. Hopefully we'll make it back on before then, but I don't know. I know I got a couple busy days coming up. You guys have a great day. And remember, a little bit of kindness, a little bit of empathy and compassion goes a long way for those who need it. Love you guys. Have a great day.